Tonight we'll be doing another session on making babies, the needle-beard sea devil. How many of you, like me, have never heard of a needle-beard sea devil until recently, like just now, okay? I want you evolutionists to focus, Daniel-san, focus. Tell me, how did this evolve? This ability from start to finish, step by step, how did this little fish evolve the ability to make babies the way that they do? You haven't answered any of the rest of my questions. I've been asking simple questions. You want us to believe that evolution is science? Show me. But tonight, the needle-beard sea devil. How would you like to kiss that? How would you kiss that? Let's see. We got some real science, guys. Now pay attention. This little fish is going to teach you some science tonight, okay? The mouth is large and extends well past the small eye. The jaws have an inner row of short, straight, widely spaced, immobile teeth. On the outside of the jaw, there are prominent conical outgrowths that bear 2 to 3 straight teeth, the longest of which can reach 15% the length of the entire body. Each of these teeth is hinged at the base. Those big, long teeth, they can hinge them back and forth. How did that evolve? Okay. With well-developed musculature, they can control it. They can control how their teeth go in and out. And a tiny hook at the end. There are 6 species of these creatures, melon, whatever it is, black sea devil family. Some anglerfish produce via the males fusing their bodies to the female until they essentially become one. He bites her, she absorbs his body, and the rest of his body dissolves, except for the testicles. I want to know how this evolved, guys, step by step. That's his first time. The male loses his eyes, fins, teeth, and some internal organs, and from that point on, he lives off the female, providing sperm when she's ready to spawn. The females are much bigger than the males. I saw a couple like that today at Walmart. Okay. Typically, Spark says, the species is 3 to 3.5 inches long. The largest male known is under an inch and 1.1 inches. The largest female is 7 inches. She will sometimes have 2 or 3 attached to her, like this picture. They bite her, she absorbs their body in, shares her bloodstream with them, and keeps them alive all as she dissolves all of them except for the testicles. The female can open her mouth, dropping her lower jaw past 90 degrees, and swallow prey bigger than herself. How did that evolve? They have dots on their face that are complex organs to sense pressure changes, water movement to locate prey in the dark. They're found in all the oceans. They are so deep down there, there's no light at all, pitch black. With these spots on her face, she can feel if a fish is swimming by, oh, there's water movement over there. How did that evolve? Those little bitty hairs all over have lights, little tiny bioluminescent spots on these little bitty hairs. How did that evolve? In several species, the male attaches to the female and is absorbed by her for life. This is his first time and his last time. Better be good, huh? Let's see. There's the male biting into her, and she's going to absorb him. I couldn't believe I read it. Look, I'll blow just the text up for you here. When the male and female anglerfish mate, they melt into each other and share bodies forever. The deep sea is so vast that if a male finds a female, he latches on and fuses to her, losing his eyes and internal organs until the 2 fish share a bloodstream. How did that evolve, guys? Come on now, I want to know. This is how they make babies. You believe in evolution, don't you? Let's hear it. Explain this to me. Let's see. Anglerfish and her sexual parasite seen alive for the first time. It wasn't until 2018, just 5 years ago, they finally got a video of them down because they're really down in the deep. You can watch that for yourself on Futurity, whatever that is, okay? So a fearsome-looking fish and her parasitically attached mate drift almost helplessly, salvaging precious energy in the dark, food-scarce environment deep off the south slope of São Gorge Island in Azores, west of Portugal. For 25 minutes, the female, a kind of anglerfish known as the fan fin sea devil, was observed to float slowly and gracefully, rolling in the current, head down and head up through the pitch black water at a depth of 2,600 feet. She swept her long whisker-like fin rays back and forth with pinpoints of light emanating at intervals along the length of each ray, the soft spine-like structure that supports the fins. Hard to see at first was a tiny male hanging from her belly. Deep-sea anglerfish lure their prey in the inky black darkness of the ocean using a bioluminescent fishing apparatus placed at the tip of the snout, hence the angler in their common name. Their enormous toothy mouth and expandable stomach enable them to capture and devour prey larger than themselves in a single instantaneous gulp. Deep-sea anglerfish males are a fraction the size of the female. In the most extreme cases, females may be more than 60 times the length and 500,000 times as heavy as the males. The males don't have a luring apparatus. Instead, most have large, well-developed eyes and huge nostrils, which help them to home in on a species-specific chemical attractant. Now hold it. You guys in evolution, what is a kind? How does the anglerfish male know where the anglerfish, what if he accidentally hooked onto a whale? Huh? How did he get this nostrils able to sense which chemical is right? Oh, that's coming off one of my kind. Let's go after that one. You guys just make up these stories that it evolved. I would like some science for a change, okay? Once a male finds a female, a seemingly impossible task in the vast, dark, open ocean, he bites into her body, the tissues and circulatory system of the two fuse, and he feeds on nutrients received through her blood. The male becomes a sexual parasite, hanging on for the rest of his life, unable to feed himself, fertilizing the egg by the female. The male completely loses his becomes a single functioning organism. Video of this kind allows us to see these animals behaving in the wild, something otherwise impossible. Like most deep-dwelling organisms, anglerfish can't live under laboratory conditions because we can't get that much pressure in the most are already dead by the time this, not only because of pressure change, but also because great increase in temperature compared to the deep water environment. Far, far below the ocean surface, where no trace of light can be seen, the deep-sea anglerfish makes her home. For mating, the male attaches to the female's skin and becomes absorbed into her body. Their union is a matter of survival. The tiny male, born without a digestive system, he's born and says, I can't digest food. I better find some woman to hang on to and let her welfare check pay for my food. I'm sorry. His sole purpose at birth is to use his heightened sense of smell to seek out a healthy female and attach to her by biting into her flesh. Once attached, his jaws are dissolved by enzymes and his fuses with hers. The anglerfish will always carry with her one or more males. As their bodies join, all that will be left of the male is his reproductive organs, which the female angler will use to fertilize her eggs. When she's ready to reproduce in the spring or summer, the anglerfish will lay more than 1 million eggs in a single spawning. How did she evolve that ability? He answered and said, I tell you, if these would hold their peace, the stones would cry out. I think the little anglerfish is going to testify against you atheists, say, look, we tried to tell you. There's a God. There's no logical other answer, okay? Needlebeard sea devil will testify against you atheists one day. You really believe no one designed this thing? Nobody. Not by chance. If you can't marvel at the designs, God, give him the glory, I feel sorry for you. I really do. The more I study nature and the more I study anything God made, I say, wow, God, you're amazing. Amazing. I like to look at cool inventions people have. Has anybody ever seen that bicycle that the front wheel, they cut it in half and move one out 3 feet away from the other half? As you pedal, that's a pretty cool invention. 2 half wheels on the bike. There's so many, we say, wow, that guy was smart, you know. Thomas Edison, look at all the stuff he did. Wow, he was smart. It's true. Why can't you say that? God, what is wrong with you? We tried to tell you there's a creator. Since this is the male's first time in his life, how does he know to hang on until she absorbs his body? How does he know she will feed him when he latches in there? Huh? Come on now. Let's hear an answer. How long did it take her to evolve the ability to produce 1,000,000 each time so some would survive? Because most get eaten, okay? How long did it take her to learn to absorb all of his body except the testicles? See, for millions of years, she got them all in there. Oops, too late. No, they all died. How do they stay alive and functioning during all this transformation? Come on, guys, step by step. You claim evolution is science. Okay, let's see the science. Show me. Produce each baby involves making an exact copy of billions of lines of code. Each of those 1,000,000 eggs has to have the code to make a new baby anglerfish, doesn't it? Billions of lines of code in the DNA, okay? And they have to line up exactly with each of the millions of lines of code that he produces in the sperm. Is this dumb little fish actually smarter than all the computer programs in the world combined? All the computer programmers in the world could not make a chromosome. This little anglerfish makes 1,000,000 of them, copies. Come on now, how did it happen? How did that little male evolve the ability to stay alive with no digestive system until she absorbs him? Does he know she will share her bloodstream with him once he bites into her? Does he know that? So once again, I ask you folks who believe in evolutionism, and we should put the ism on evolution, can you give a step-by-step scientific explanation for how the needle-beard sea devil method of making babies evolved? I got a better idea. Why don't you believers in evolution admit defeat and throw in the towel? There's a God who designed all life forms on earth. Give up your dumb religion, okay? Just give it up. You have looked and looked for evidence for evolution. It doesn't exist. You should surrender to the Lord and admit that He is God and call on Him for forgiveness. He would be glad to do that for you. So, O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who has set thy glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of anglerfish, everything is testifying. Hast thou ordained strength because of thine enemies, that thou mightest kill the enemy and the avenger? When I consider the heavens, or the anglerfish, or the beaver, or the cockroach, or anything God made, the work of thy fingers, the moon, the stars which thou hast ordained, what is man that thou art mindful of him? A God who could make that, why does he pay attention to us? And why, especially after you sinned the first time, why didn't you go squish, let's make another one, try again? I'm glad he doesn't. How many of you are glad he didn't squish you first time you messed up? Yeah, okay. What is man that thou art mindful of him, and the son of man that thou visitest him? Psalm 139, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. I know. So you think a protozoa, or amoeba, or some kind, single-cell creature, slowly, that's the secret, slowly turn to a biology teacher, don't you? Please give me a scientific explanation for how the anglerfish evolved this ability to make babies. I don't believe there is one. There isn't one for the beaver. There isn't one for any of the creatures we've covered. None. You think it came from a dot of nothing exploding? Where's your logic? How can you possibly believe the whole Pacific Ocean fit in a dot smaller than a proton? The devil, I don't know if you know this or not, atheist, the devil is laughing at you for believing his lie. He lied to Eve in the Garden of Eden. She fell for it. He's lying to you, and you fell for it. Wake up. Every knee shall bow. Right now you can choose. When you're dead, it's too late. It's appointed unto man once to die. After this, the judgment. In Acts 16, Paul and Silas had been beaten and locked in the stocks and put in jail, and they were singing praises at midnight, probably because they couldn't sleep because they can't lay down. And he brought them out, the jailer did, and said, Sirs, what must I do to be saved? All you got to do is call on the name of the Lord. If you died today, where would you go? Simple question. You going smoking or non-smoking? Your choice. The Lord's not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering toward not willing that any should perish. Family. No matter how bad you messed up. You say, Brother Hovind, you don't know what I did. Nope. He does. He'll forgive you. You're going to be for a long time. Are you going to hear God say when you die, welcome home, my child? Or you're going to hear him say, depart from me, I never knew you. You everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity. Depart from me, I never knew you. I don't want that. I want him to say, well done, come on home, son.